Hey people, welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to do a bit more on the Dorifto Micra tonight. I'm actually thinking about whether I should eventually put a K-series in this with the K Miata parts that you can get from America, and then I could call it the K10. For the moment we're going to call it the Dorifto Micra. So I just pulled a wing out of the shed, popped it back on. I've got one of the Starlet front over fenders here, which happens to be the same side, and I'm wondering, I'm going to have to put this camera down a minute, set it up so you can see what I'm going to talk about. I'm wondering whether we can, originally I was going to have this line up carefully, trim off the back. And now I'm wondering whether I should stretch the wheelbase of the car a bit to give me more clearance for the A panel. So what I'm wondering is whether, I've already got the wheel an inch further forward than it should be. I'm wondering if I should go another inch. Stretching the wheelbase of the Micra is only going to make it handle better, because at the moment it's a good 1.5 inches, no, maybe 2 inches longer than, I measured it last night at this position, it's like 91.5, and an MX-5 is about 89 inches. So I'm actually wondering whether I should stretch it a little bit more, get the wing, the over fender perfectly on the wing like this. And it would just make the car handle better. And it will give me more clearance. The engine will be real far back because I'm not going to change the prop length, I'm just going to modify the subframe like the engine mounts, so it moves the engine back, which will help with the weight balance, and it will help with front end clearance as well. I measured up the engine bay, and you could just about fit an engine in there with pretty much no room for the radiator and stuff. So what I need to do, really, is I need to start cutting out. If I cut these sections out on both sides, I'll be able to jack the subframe up and get an even better idea of where we're at, and possibly put the frame onto the rear subframe, jack that up, and kind of get an idea of where I'm going to be cutting in the rear. I was a little bit concerned about the subframe coming back into the toe board and being a problem with the pedals, but I think what I'll do is, I actually raised the floor 35mm, so there's already a problem with the pedals because it just makes your feet not sit properly on the pads. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the pedal box up and move it backwards however much, and then just move the seat further back according. The seat can go like, that's where the seat was going to sit, so it's like 4.5 inches further back, and that's fine. Although with drifting, the B-pillar being in the way might be a problem, so I might not want to go quite that far. The seat's quite reclined, so I could tip the seat up. Well, it's just all stuff to think about. So I think what I need to do really is cut these sections of the chassis out, and then just go from there. So I'm going to throw on some overalls, I'll set the camera up, and then I'll start cutting. I thought it might be fun to just quickly measure where these rear bolts will go on the chassis, on the MX-5 subframe. So we're talking 615mm. And these cross chassis legs that I put in, 680 on the outside, 590 on the inside. So they're near enough going to match up. It's going to be a case of literally welding in a boss so the bolt can go right through, but it might end up, it's going to end up like here. I'm going to end up cutting a lot of this away. I'm going to cut a lot of this away so that the subframe is going to fit and the lower control arm can operate. Because I basically want this to sit right up there, pretty much the lowest part of the car. But it's going to be determined by the rear subframe. Because the rear subframe holds the diff and the prop wants to be in the top of the tunnel, right up in the top of the tunnel. So when I get the rear subframe at the desired height, I'll be able to get the front subframe at the desired height. And I'm also going to have to cut down through here. The tunnel is going to pretty much be pretty wide. Prop's going to be up here, and I've got to try and get an exhaust in. Might have to be a funny shaped tube. Exhaust is going to be a challenge, but we'll cross that road when we get to it. There's no turning back now, is there? Power tools tonight. So let's put the car back down on the ground. Use it sideways like this. I haven't got enough room because of the step. Sick. Taking a bit of a cut. You can see that bits of my Micra / Justy chassis are actually lining the subframe up in the middle, roughly. If this is where the subframe's going to sit, look how far back the engine's going to be. That's pretty damn amazing. Okay then, let's see what this clearance is going to be like here. It looks like I've got more than enough. And I have, that's like far too much at the moment. The subframe's got to go that way even further, which is quite comical. The engine's going to be so far back through the bulkhead. It's going to be amazing. Just imagine having to change the spark plugs from inside the car. That'd be rad. Might have to stretch the length of the wheelbase as much as I had first anticipated, because I've got bags of clearance. What I need is a low offset wheel that I'm going to use. 15s look gash, so I think I'm definitely going to keep the 14s, but that is a lot of clearance. I don't think I'm going to have any problems with clearance of the A-post. I want to check the wheelbase next. So now I'm going to get a quick rough look at what the wheelbase is going to be. This will get in the way. If I hook that centre line, measure, that's 92 1/4. 92 1/4. So that's 1.75 inches, 1.65 inches longer than a standard micro wheelbase. So I think I'm going to put the, I don't know, I might leave it like that. $91.5, and it's still got bags of clearance. So this is 91.5 on this side, and it's still got a ton of clearance. So back here you can see I've got to chop this section out, which is also justy, and I'm going to have to cut this bit here out, which is right below the throttle pedal. Let's measure that. So it's going to go up 3.5 inches. So yeah, I'm going to be cutting up through here. I'm going to have to cut into here for the control arm to operate, and the subframe is going to come up pretty much underneath the pedal. So I think I'm going to have to move the pedal box this way, rearward, and I want to go at least 35-40mm upward. So that's it for tonight. Done as much as I feel like doing. I need to spend a bit more time, do some cutting on the rear. I'm not going to do that tonight because it's gone 10 o'clock. And I want to go home and have some tea. And I probably should get on and do some editing. I've got a couple of videos in the pipeline. So I might even get to do some more on the Corsa tomorrow. See if we can get that right. I'm looking forward to testing that. Might even be able to do some launches in the workshop, so watch this space, and I will see you next time.